2002, One Man's Collection. Today we're looking at the Formula One Car Collection magazine number 39. So this is the Alberto Ascari driven Ferrari 375 Indy from 1952. We do have a 143 scale die-cast car, which is quite impressive, and we'll take a look at that towards the end of the video. But briefly, I'm going to go through the magazine, show you what you got in this particular magazine, and then we'll have a look at the die-cast vehicle. So the season is 1952, obviously that car that we just talked about. Technical focus is on the vehicle, the team, obviously the Scuderia Ferrari team at that time. The circuit in this particular magazine will be the 1978 Autodromo Internazionale and Nelson Piquet Formula One in Brazil. And the story of F1 is the 1988 Senna on top as records tumble. So I'm not going to read everything in full detail, but we will read some of this stuff. So oceans apart from its inaugural running in 1950, the World Championship included Indianapolis 500 in its calendar, and yet the technical regulations of the legendary US race were markedly different from those of the European Grand Prix counterparts, as Alberto Ascari discovered. There you go. Picture of him posing in an official photo in Indianapolis. Prancing Horse logo was temporarily concealed on his Ferrari 375 Indy so as not to overstate the official commitment of the Italian team. No way. So that's why you got the white badge there. Okay. Alberto Ascari's Ferrari sits in the pit lane in Indianapolis ahead of the race. The Italian car sported the logos of local sponsors, contracted to Luigi Chinetti. Financing by companies not connected with motor racing was already common practice in the US. This wasn't the case in Europe, though. It wouldn't be until the end of the 1960s before commercial aspect really took off. The Ferrari 375 Indy also sported the stickers of technical sponsors, such as Mobil and the Grand Piston Ring Company. Pirelli tyres were replaced by Firestones. Yeah, they actually didn't have sponsorship on a lot of these. Padded plastic pudding bowl helmet was the only protection drivers in the 1950s used. Ascari was rather partial to blue in his races. He wore his light blue jersey and matching helmet. Obviously, we don't have a particular driver in this. It's a pre-season at the Valentino Grand Prix. Wow. Back in those days, look at the helmets and goggles. Yeah, I guess that's what they did. It wasn't probably too much dissimilar in an aircraft. With Alfa Romeo having withdrawn from competition, and Nino Farina made the move to Ferrari. Okay. So this is the dramatic photo of Nino Farina striving to tame his Ferrari 500 F2 at the Nürburgring highlights the difficulties facing the drivers of the time when racing their single-seaters to the limits. As well as extraordinary courage, significant physical strength was also needed, considering the remarkable speeds reached by the cars, especially given the diameter of the steering wheel, the efficiency of the brake drums, and the width of the treads. It's a pretty massive wheel there. I must admit, the die-cast car, the seat looks so much larger than some of the other 143 scale Formula One cars that I have. Technical focus. Ferrari 375 F1 used by Ferrari in 51 season and winner in the British Grand Prix, and with Gonzalez in the first World Championship success for the Italian squad. Same car in its FL Formula Libera configuration. Its development was based on the 375 F1 after new technical regulations came to force, bringing F2 cars into the World Championship. So the top one, then the second one. And then the Indianapolis version of 375. Note the different nose compared with the 51 version and compared with the 375 FL, striking air intakes on the engine cover to supply the new 4-barrel carburetors. Yeah. All right. Engine is a V12, a 60-degree front longitudinal, 4.382, so a 4.4 litre if you round that up, 380 brake horsepower at 7,500. Fuel tank, 195 litres. Weight, 786 kilograms dry. I am actually glad that I've got old cars like this in the Formula One. I purposely only bought one other outside of the magazine collections of the old school 50s and 60s cars. I think I've shown that off on one of my Formula One car collection write-ups on that one too. Moving on, the Rio de Janeiro circuit. Average speed, 195 kilometers an hour. Maximum speed, 315. It's not the same one we race on now, is it? It's up and over a hill there in Brazil. The track was called, I can't even pronounce that one, after the neighborhood in Brazil, Metropolis, where it was built in 1977, and later named Nelson Piquet after the 3-time world champion and local hero. Joined the Circuit and World Championship in 1978, and between then and 1989, it staged 10 Brazilian Grand Prix weekends. Brazilian race returned briefly in Interlagos track, Sao Paulo, circuit that revamped became the permanent home from 1990. There you go. All right, Senna on top as records tumble. How much further would he have gone if, unfortunately, we didn't lose him? But, yeah. Brazil took advantage of the collaboration between the team from Woking and Honda. The British car dominated the championship, while Senna won with the psychological duel with his teammate Alain Prost. Yeah. In Senna on the 1988 season was 90 points, Alain Prost 87, Gerhard Berger 41, Thierry Boulston, I don't even remember Thierry Boulston, 27 points, and is it Michael or Michel Alberto, 24 points in the Ferrari F1 87-88C. Yeah, you know what? You're outside the top three. Sometimes you just don't remember the other names. Bit of a shame. Honda McLaren, 199 points. Ferrari, 65. Benetton Ford, 39. There's your multiple colours of the Benetton. I remember those. I think I've even got one of the cars. All right, in this particular in the Formula One car collection magazine 40, we've got the BRM 160B, followed by the March 711 from 1971. So 72 and 71. Another couple old cars. Got a bunch of 70s cars. It's actually really cool. All right, let's take a close look at this particular vehicle. Now, it does look like my wheels come off its rim just a fraction there. Now, spoked wheels, but they are solid, as in you can't see all the way through. So that's the way they've done the moulding. Got some advertising. Definitely have the Ferrari badge still on this one though, unlike the picture that it showed. Looks like I've got a mobile prancing horse there as well. Massive wheel, wooden looking, tiny little mirrors, and the exhaust pipes that run all the way down the side. I guess you want to make sure you get out and don't touch those. Looking underneath, both sides, and Ferrari 375 Indy underneath. There's not much to it, to be honest. It does look pretty cool. Yeah, I will put this on the turntable. You can have a look without my hands in the way. Thank you very much for watching. A like, comment, subscribe. I'll be back with Magazine 40 next week. Cheers. Bye.